call the meeting to order. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first thing we need to do is to declare clerk pro tem. Do we have a motion to appoint Meg Hungerford as clerk pro tem?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We have the minutes from March 1st. If there are no questions or concerns, do we have a motion to accept them as submitted?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And then the approval of the CSE and Cpsc recommendations. Yes, and there was 2 reports. So.
Yes, there was a Cpsc for this year, and then the rest of them are CSE annual meetings for next year.
If there's no comments or questions or concerns on that, do we have a motion to accept those reports as submitted?
I'll move it.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And there is no public comment. So we will go to, I should let the people know that are watching, there's no public comment because there's no one here. I will go to discussion items. March 10th, we had our community capital project presentation. Dr. McDonald did a nice job.
Well, appreciate it, team effort. So we had our facility committee members, right? Kevin, Greg, and Rhonda were there. We went through our presentation. It's streamed and recorded, so it's out there. Votes going on right now.
Yeah.
Right. Really all got on that.
Okay. Yes. Nope. Let's go down and vote. Budget workshop. We rescheduled that for Tuesday, March 22nd at 5 p.m. And then if that white stuff comes, it'll be March 24th, but Springler will be here, so
Yep.
we're done with that.
We appreciate everybody's understanding on that. We just had some late arrivals of some key budgetary items, so in order to be prepared for the workshop, we just needed to delay a little bit, just so anybody who's watching knows the reasoning behind that. And we'll be ready for the 22nd for the workshop.
Alrighty. Correspondence. Everyone has the DCMO BOCES annual meeting. That's going to be April 6th at the Harrow campus in Trout Creek. DCMO Compass winter 2022 CTE newsletter. That was very interesting. And the letter from the William B. Ogden Free Library Board of Trustees with their intent to be placed on the ballot once again. And they're looking for just a little over 3,000 increase from last year. And then no
How
additions.
did that get tied into the school budget?
That is education law that allows them to be placed on the ballot.
Okay.
For the school, and then it also gets collected on your school tax. You'll see the line item for library. Section 259.
Okay.
And I was working here when we first did that, but I don't remember what year that was. But,
I have no idea.
so there are no additions to the agenda, correct? All right. So we are up to the consent agenda. We have the financial reports. We have the transfer of the funds, approved BOCES service unit cost methodology, personnel resignation of Kathy Stalzer and Deborah Cannon. And then we have the personnel appointments. And that is Donna Crow, her name go Hamilton, Brittany Constable. Those are two substitute teachers. Brittany Constable also for substitute teacher aide and substitute school monitor. And as well as the high school musical appointments. And then we have the athletic recommendations. And then the athletic emergency appointment. And I believe that is it. Do we have a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Make the motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right. New business, to nominate candidate to the DCMO BOCES Board of Education. I believe there are 3 people up, and the same 3 are seeking re-election. So is anyone wishing to
Godspeed.
nominate? Otherwise, we don't have to take an action on that.
Do you want to support them as our nominations out of here?
Is everyone okay with that?
I'd make that motion.
Yeah.
Okay,
Second.
all right. Motion seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. That's Jeannie Shields. I'll need help with John Klopowski
Lukowski,
and David
Kruche.
Kruchik. Didn't want to mess that up. Thank you. All right, and Jeannie is from Bainbridge, Guilford, John is from Norwich, and David is Otselic Valley. All right, and then we have the approve the resolution providing for the holding of the annual meeting in and for other matters. And if this is going to be for the propositions as well as the board member. We have 3-year terms for Kevin Charles, 3-year term for Al Bedine, and a 3-year term for the position that was vacated by Miranda Grossman that is presently being held by Marilyn Lewis. Do we have a motion to accept that notice?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And then we had an appointment for an election inspectors. And this was an emergency appointment. This was, oh, sorry, that was added to the agenda. I apologize. I think mine's the only one that wasn't updated because I had a paper copy, so all of yours should be updated. This is for Carol Raimundo. We had someone cancel for the election inspector for this evening's vote, so Carol is filling in, so we'll need to appoint her as the election inspector. Do we have a motion?
Move it.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. And then we have appointment of Daniel McGraw, teacher aide, and Linda Alvarez as part-time food service helper. If we have no questions on that, do we have a motion to accept those 2 positions?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. All right, and then we have policy review. Would you like to do the honors?
Zip.
We do have.
Thank you, Rhonda. Policy number 4325, academic intervention services, 4511, textbook selection and adoption, 4750, promotion, retention, and acceleration of students.
Okay, and once again, please review those policies at your convenience. And we are up to administrative remarks. Do we have any questions? I have to say, for the people at home watching, we just took a tour before our board meeting for Makerspace. And that is a middle school program, and Mr. Hoover was there with us. And this is something that we received from Makerspace. I had a little hole punch in mine so I can hang it up as a Christmas ornament. But that is, it's amazing what the students are doing up there. That is just absolutely amazing. The technology that's there, what they're able to create is just unbelievable.
Laser engraving, 3D
Yeah.
printers, I mean, the use of software that integrates and drives all of that, it's just,
Vinyl cutting, t-shirt
Yeah.
production.
yeah, it's really amazing.
Robots.
Yep, be looking for a article, website, link to the makerspace, as well as potentially a reporter article. That'd be an excellent for a report article as well. In the next, probably next month, within the next month, so we'll get that information out there. But we'll get a link to the makerspace on the website, the new design website, which will be coming out next week.
Yeah, big,
Hopefully the parents will ask their students about Makerspace, and it's sixth grade, goes through the whole.
You know, all sixth graders, with the exception of the ones who will have it the fourth quarter, have already, so 3/4 of them have been in there already.
Yeah, we definitely want to get that publicized. That's a good thing.
Yep, absolutely. And already in discussions at the elementary level with Ms. Hector and the library, and at the high school level, at least from a multimedia perspective of the library. So we got a lot of things coming up, innovation coming forward for our students. It's exciting.
The things that can be made here too, the high school teachers may see something that, oh, can you make this for my classroom? That type of thing, so it's really neat. One other thing that, for Townsend School, I was reading in your article, the PTA, the cookies and canvas night.
Oh, yeah.
72 students attended that.
A great turnout, yeah.
That is wonderful.
Yep.
I was at work, sitting in my office today, and all of a sudden I heard like all this noise, like, children talking. I look out my window and here's a whole slew of children walking up the sidewalk. It was the elementary ag class, must
Yes,
have
they're going to Miss Reinhardt's to collect the sap.
been. Nice. Well, I could tell they were having a good time.
41
None of them were
students
wearing a
went.
mask, so they were beaming, That was great. Is there any other questions that anybody has?
just for Mr. Loomis, are you getting a lot of feedback on the class of 2022 parents page?
No, but, I figure no news is good news.
Right. Well, it's just I want to make it available, everybody understand that it's out there. I mean, sometimes the students don't necessarily communicate with their parents all that well, but.
Yeah, we've sent some messengers out reminding parents
Good.
that they do have access to all that information in one spot, so.
Great.
And thank you for doing that.
And you began this process last year, I believe, right, with last year's group?
Yep.
Last year
Yes,
is the
it
year
was.
it started. It was tougher for me to maintain the year I started it, but now that I know with the Google Docs being live and how easy it is, I can ask people to update it. I don't always have people doing it. It's going to be more of a sustainable thing for everyone, and having all that information in one spot is really what I was aiming for with it.
I know from last year it was really helpful, because we weren't sure what was going on with trips and prom and that type of thing. So because we weren't really 100% sure what everything was gonna be able to do. And it was great. It was really great to be able to go in one spot. So I hope people take the opportunity to look at it.
Mhm.
This is another example on how informational technology has changed the game. That was always a struggle for years, because the way you communicated things out, you didn't send a letter, was you put it on the daily bulletin. So then you were relying on the students to tell the parents, and there was always a disconnect. Whether it was scholarships, whether it was whatever it was. So this is terrific, and for the high school taking on specifically Mr. Loomis is tremendous. I've always said, and I keep saying this, these guys have heard me say this: the parents, the customer, the students, the product. We have to make sure that the parents are connected to the learning and the educational programming of the student. If we don't, we've got a huge disconnect in our process, and that's what this connects. So appreciate it.
I even enjoy there's a weekly update that goes out to the parents from Google, and so that triggers me a lot of times to ask questions. of, hey, have you done this project? Or, oh yeah, we have to order the yearbook, or that type of thing. So I think the communication is out there, if people just look for it. So, I mean, that comes directly to my email, so.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
amazing how, like you had just mentioned on the Bolton, and you wanted your student, your child to remember. They would always remember, like, oh, there's a ski trip coming up, or there's a dance coming up, or, the fun things. But like you said, the yearbooks, no, you were scrambling at the last
Exactly.
minute.
Gotta sign up for
When are
this.
those yearbooks coming out?
Gotta register for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's tomorrow.
Yeah, so.
There's still children.
Absolutely.
I do have one question about athletics. So do we have a softball coach? Okay, all right. That's all right. I saw that we had a volunteer, but I wasn't sure if we had a.
Yeah,
an
that was,
At the last meeting.
Yeah, the last meeting.
Okay, all right, good.
Yep.
Good.
I think we're
Waiting on the paperwork for one position, and then
will be
once that
100%,
goes
right?
through, yeah.
Good.
And that started yesterday, spring
Yeah.
sports?
Yeah, the position we're not completely filled yet is a modified position, which starts March 28th. So we have, hopefully, what needs to go through goes through.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, and congratulations to Heidi for the Skills USA. That was very good. I went to the Skills USA with my son, and what a huge event. Talk about pressure on these kids, and they pull it off. It was just amazing. So did very
The
nice.
Skills USA and the FFA skills competitions, those two are, they're very impressive, especially at the state level, let alone the national level. It's impressive, very impressive.
Good.
All right, up to me.
Yes.
So just one topic, quickly, and that's regarding snow days. We currently have 5 days left. And as you know, those are days above and beyond the contractual calendar, so any days that we have remaining are quote-unquote give-back days. We add them on, we're gonna add them on. One day, we keep to the end of the year. You never know when you're gonna have something happen, where you don't power, flooding, whatever you have. I know, bad word, sorry, Graydon.
Well, thank you, the flooding.
So we keep one to the end, and if we don't have it, that's that last day, that Regents rating day, and allows elementary to get out the day early. That's what we did last year, that's what we've done for a long time. What I intend to do, with your blessing, is out of the 5 days left, 4 days left, take away that one, is a day after April break, extending the day after Easter, so we extend that day by 1 day. That's always appreciated by families. 2 days on Memorial Day, so they move it to a 5-day weekend, which we've done in the past. And then we got 1 day that's in flux. I don't wanna put a 6-day weekend on that Memorial Day, it's getting a little too close to the regions, various things. We'll hold it, who knows, in the next couple weeks, we may use it. If we don't use it, we'll look for a 3-day weekend between the 3-8 testing and Memorial Day. Because we got the 3-8 testing coming up in there, so that 1 day after the holiday, after April break, we go beyond that, we're gonna really get into the prep for the following week, right? So we'll extend that way.
Okay.
So that's kind of my brainstorm on this. Any thoughts, concerns?
Sounds good.
No, okay.
This year we had 7 days for the regional calendar because of the fact that they couldn't come up with that 3rd day to have a 2-week February break. The way the regional calendar is coming together, which you'll have at the next meeting, it's looking like we will have 2 full weeks, a week in April, a week in February, and 5 days. So that'll help with these numbers. And then if we need more than 5, we just take it off the vacations like we, can do. So we won't have this issue again, hopefully.
Well, yeah, and
It's
it's nice to have it.
That's right. It's nice to have a snow day
Nice
when
to
the
have it.
sun's out. It's have a
Well,
snow day when it's
yeah.
snowing.
Well, I think it's always good to have those extra days. I'd rather see it be in the spot you're in today and adding it to vacation time than taking away.
Right.
Because a lot of times you need those breaks and
Yeah, agreed.
ruins plans that people have scheduled way in advance, so.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll figure out our timing, you know, I'll get the communication out soon regarding the day after April break, and then we'll hold. We'll see what this month brings to us, because we know March can be interesting, and it can be interesting very quickly.
Mhm.
So we'll get that one communicated out, we'll hold, and then as we get, you know, in that first week of April, then we'll communicate, or second week of April, then we'll communicate regarding Memorial Day. That'll give people a good month advance
Right.
notice. And if they're watching right now, they get a head start. So, okay? That's all I
That's
have.
good. That's it, all right. So we do need an executive session for the leading to the future employment of a particular person and contractual negotiations. And we will ask that the building principals please join us. So do we have a motion to enter?
Is any action going to be taken?
No action.
No action, okay. So we need a motion to enter executive session?
I'll move
Second?
it.
Okay.
Either way.
All in, Kevin. And then there's not anticipating to take action after exec, so we need a
I'll make a
motion to
motion to
adjourn.
come out and adjourn.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Opposed? Carried.